back there that I used to have in my office that I no longer really have a place for. So if you're in one of them and you want to take them with you today, feel free. I really appreciate all you guys being here. I want to start with the thank yous, beginning with Tim, who has been so collaborative organizing today's event and making everyone feel welcome on this rainy morning. It's refreshing to see the town making good hires at the top, which is what you need to have a good town. Jimmy Hennessy, as good an athlete and a coach as he was, and he was an all-conference quarterback and offensive coordinator at Northeastern. He's an even better person. As Jim mentioned, we've lost 3 more from the golden era in recent months, including the most iconic coach and athletic director in Brookline high school history, Ed Sluntz. It's not often you get to follow in the same footsteps as your boyhood hero, but I did when I was hired at Brookline. One of my proudest moments as a parent was when my son Matt won the Sluntz Award playing football at the high school. The guy solely responsible for today is my friend Merrill Diamond. He put his heart into this project and attended endless town meetings, presenting a case for naming this field. It's no coincidence our 40-year friendship began at this park, coaching our children together. My first coach, ironically, ended up being the best one I ever had, Ed Terrain. He ran this playground and ran us into the ground at times. He didn't have to say a word. He wasn't big on speeches. Just his presence and occasional glare was enough to get you going and afraid. If they named this ball field after me, they should rename Elliott Street after the man we called Big Otis. Not to his face. Even though health issues wouldn't allow him to be here today, I want to mention Athletic Director Walter Sargent, who took a chance putting this baseball program in my hands in 1992. I would, believe it or not, nobody knew who I was from the baseball world. The 3 players I asked to speak was so you get an idea of the kind of student athletes I was privileged to coach. Thanks to what they were taught at home and in the classrooms, I got more of a finished product. You could spend time teaching the game and not dealing with the outside distractions that sometimes come in high school. Every player that's here today has a story to tell. Chani's journey from Cambodia to his adoptive home in Brookline to playing center field here at Campagna Diamond, and I'm going to have to use to saying that, is a unique one that I enjoyed playing a small role in. I got a lot of credit for Frances, but the truth was it was a no-brainer. Part of the reason was while I was coaching football, Wellesley had a female player. I witnessed her go up and down the field, giving as good as she got. So when Frances came along and wanted to also try something never done before, I was not about to say no. Cam was a good ball player, but his maturity made him an outstanding leader and calming presence in the dugout when a certain coach wasn't so calm. When I first called him to be here today, he said he had a family vacation planned to Washington, D.C. this week. Called me back an hour later and said he had canceled his vacation and would be here today. It didn't surprise me. That's why, as great as this stone will look when the sheet comes off, the thing that's going to stay with me the most about today is what I'm looking at right now. Family, friends, fellow coaches, and especially former players, who I best remember sitting over on that bench over there as young kids, trying to figure out who's this maniac that treats every game like it's a World Series. I get it. It took a while. It's something that comes with the wisdom old age brings. Of course, I never being elected to multiple Hall of Fames, never mind having a ball field named after me. And I never thought when I walked through that gate on Acres Avenue, clutching my mother's hand shortly after moving to the settlement in the mid-1950s, this parcel of land would become my second home and a place I'd never be far from during my lifetime. Although my Uncle Sam did send me on an all-expense-paid 2-year vacation in the late 60s. Speaking of our beloved Irish mother, she just didn't show me the way to this park. Through her example, she showed her 5 children the way to live life and how to treat others. Without her guidance, my story would have had a much different ending. I can still see her walking across that outfield grass on a Saturday afternoon, heading to Cleveland Circle for a hairdressing appointment. It's one of the few presents she allowed herself. The best part was she always returned with a roast beef sub from Pino's for her favorite son. Those are just a few of the treasure chest of memories this park holds, including lifelong friends. Many are here today, sadly some are not. I played and coached Little League and played and coached high school ball here. I took my children and then my grandkids to play on the swings and the sandboxes. This is where I spent most every afternoon after school. And during the summer months, it was our Disney World. I was here every day from sunup to sundown, playing everything from shuffleboard to stickball. I guarantee my grandkids have never heard of either. This park was my safe haven. I not only learned about sports, but things that stay with you for a lifetime. I was fortunate to grow up where and when I did. This neighborhood was a fertile ground for high school and college talent. We had a young bat boy on our summer baseball team named Tommy Fleming. He would later be named 1970s Athlete of the Decade at Dartmouth after excelling in football, hockey, and track, and he was drafted by the Cleveland Browns. That kid was an athlete. Coaching gave me a chance to give back to the community I love. There's no magic formula. Like most jobs, you try to do what's right and treat people with respect. The only difference is, generally employees don't bring their parents to work. At the first league meeting I attended, I heard coaches had been putting a check mark in the win column next to Brookline. But I knew there was talent on the way. My biggest challenge would be the same as anyone inheriting a losing program, getting players to believe in themselves. After 3 very long spring seasons, we had the program's first winning record in 20 years that peaked in 2004 with 19 wins, including 13 in a row in a trip to the Eastern Mass semifinals. Competing in the Bay State League 3 times a week for 9 innings was a great challenge. I was up against some of the best high school minds in the state, who often schooled me. The players faced pitchers from forever Major Leaguer Rich Hill from Milton to current Yankee stud Walpole's Cam Schindler. In the past 15 years, 6 different Bay State League schools have won state championships. Braintree did it twice. And if it wasn't for a bad call, we would have made it 7, but I won't mention that. We had 3 all-scholastic pitchers, Aaron Greenblatt, Will Lacker, and Silas Reed, who set a school strikeout record while at Tufts, as did Nate Spielvogel at Merrimack, and Eric Dumas, who was an All-American and League MVP at Wheaton College. They were just a few of the 37 All-Stars. A like number went on to play in college. In the process, they broke every school record for winning while beating a lot of teams with more talent. As a coach, that's what you want to do. We qualified for tournament play 16 times. We made 18 trips to Cooperstown to play Needham on Doubleday Field. It was always a huge thrill for the players and their families, including my own son and stepson, Craig and Josh, who also played for me. I was known as a tough but fair leader who came down more on the side of Lombardi's winning is the only thing than Grantland Rice's it's how you play the game philosophies. Another thing I picked up at the Crane School of Coaching. I'm not up here without the assistants who hit the fungos and through the batting practices, especially 2 originals, my nephew Mike Michelli and his buddy Brian Spadafino. Among the rest who followed were current athletic director and former captain Kyle Williams, and my successor and 3-time All-Star Brendan O'Connor. As you can see, I've also been blessed with a very large family. I think the number now stands at 53. Some went into public service, such as teaching, including my incredible wife, Elaine. We have 3 firemen. Steve's the chief in Wellesley, Joe's a captain in Natick, and Craig a lieutenant in Brookline. And even a few who are in the private sector trying to make a lot of money, including the girls, Laura and Abby. Like many here today, athletic events have been a family meeting place since our children could walk or skate. Keeping that spirit alive today, my nephew Mark is football coach at Natick, and my niece Amy, assistant athletic director at Holy Cross. We had 9 high school and college athletes compete this year. Among them, a member of the Williams College Championship hockey team, a football all-scholastic, a state wrestling finalist, and a qualifier for the NCAA Golf Championship next week in New Mexico. I spent an afternoon this week enjoying myself watching another pitch a 3-hitter for his high school team. I'm so proud of you all, especially our children, who blessed us with 9 grandchildren who will become my new ball club and lifeline. I hope I'm still around when they get their chance to shine. Finally, I want to take a moment to remember another former player and student of Elaine's, Aiden Conley, who we lost in a tragic boating accident on this date 4 years ago. His parents are with us today. I wrote the following closing paragraph with Aiden's love of the game in mind. I like the game of baseball itself. I love and tried my hand at many sports, but there was a special feeling putting on my spikes and grabbing my Mickey Mantle bat, a Joe Pepitone first baseman's mitt. Not sure what it was, the time of year, the smell of freshly cut grass, or just the fact you didn't have to be the biggest or the fastest to have success. That was me. It was a game of individual matchups woven inside a team concept. It's both flawless and timeless, with bonus plays known as doubleheaders and extra innings. Whether coaching at Parsons or Doubleday Field, or watching my beloved Red Sox at Fenway, as I did 42 times one season. And by the way, I was there the night Fisk hit the foul pole. It has been a great ride, one that today has taken me full circle back to where it all began over 70 years ago with a walk in this park. I want to remind all those sitting in the front row when the kids come up what Tom Hanks once said, "There's no crying in baseball." And I want to thank you all again for being here. You add another layer to this very memorable occasion. I want to invite my grandchildren to come up now and help us reveal the stone.